Boxing Lowdown, and I'm back here with another video. Now, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Feel free to drop a comment if you like, and I'll happily get back to you. Now, on the Teofimo Lopez-Vasyl Lomachenko card, it was formally announced, officially announced, that Terence Crawford and Kell Brook will indeed be fighting on November the 14th at the MGM Grand Bubble, and Terence Crawford's WBO welterweight title will be on the line. We kind of knew that this was happening because it wasn't really a secret, to be honest. I mean, we heard murmurs coming out of Terence Crawford's camp that it was on. We know that Kell Brook was in training for the fight, and we knew that that was going to happen. So we were kind of all just waiting for this announcement to happen. And so it was last night on the card of Lopez and Lomachenko. Now, what are your initial thoughts about this particular fight? It's kind of like, would you say the last chance saloon for Kell Brook? I would. He's in his 30s now. He's had a long career, Kell, and you know, he's been world champion, and he's going up against one of the pound-for-pound best fighters in the sport in Terence Crawford. Now, is this a risky fight for Crawford? Because yes, he's going to be going in there as the favourite, but what does he really have to gain from this fight, really? Because Kell Brook, for me, is still a dangerous opponent. I'm not saying that he's dangerous enough to defeat Terence Crawford, but he's still a dangerous opponent. And like, whatever happens, I feel like that this fight is going to be compared to when Errol Spence fought Kell Brook. And Errol Spence, you know, he really, when he beat Kell Brook, he travelled to the UK to do it. He made him quit in his own backyard, and Kell Brook was closer to his prime. So what can Terence Crawford really get out of this fight that will, you know, kind of surpass that? You know, will he be able to surpass that in terms of defeating Kell Brook? Because if he does kind of wash Kell Brook in a few rounds, or, you know, dominates him, beats him, stops him, whatever, yes, it will be impressive, but people will just say, look, Errol Spence did that 3 years ago. So that's kind of like how I'm looking at it for Terence Crawford. He's kind of in a no-win situation here, but at the end of the day, he needs to fight. He needs to fight the top competition. I think that out of the opponents that are available, and you kind of got to take out the PBC because it didn't seem like that some of them are tied up, and the others, for whatever reason, we're just not able to see those fights. But when you take away those guys, I guess Kell Brook is one of the better options out there for Terence Crawford to fight. But we really want to see him mix it in with those PBC guys, because they're at the top of the tree in the division. You've got Errol Spence, you've got Manny Pacquiao, you've got Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, Sean Porter. I would have loved to have seen Terence Crawford fight one of those guys. But, I mean, I'll take Kell Brook for now. I'll take Kell Brook. And it is a measuring stick at the end of the day. We do get to judge to see, we do get to compare the performances of Errol Spence and Brook and Terence Crawford and Kell Brook. But I just feel like at this time, it's going to be a very difficult fight for Kell, man. Terence Crawford has grown into the weight, definitely. I mean, he was always a big light welterweight. So when he moved up to welterweight, he kind of filled into that division pretty easily. And he's had a few fights up there now. He made Amir Khan quit, and he fought Jeff Horn, and he fought the Mean Machine guy. So he's had a few fights up there at welterweight now to get himself established. And Kell Brook will definitely be the biggest and the strongest welterweight he's faced. So that's the sort of problem that Terence Crawford will have. But in terms of like skill set and what he brings to the ring, Terence Crawford is on another planet to most people in boxing right now. He is on the pound-for-pound list for a reason, considered by many to be in the top 5. So this will be a good measuring stick, but good, interesting fight, man. I wouldn't rule Kell Brook out completely. This is boxing at the end of the day. Anything can happen. It is kind of like the last chance saloon for him, and he has been keeping in very good shape. I mean, we've seen the videos, and he's been looking very good in training, and he does look lean, and he's not going to have to cut too much weight to make welterweight. So unless he can make that without a problem, then yeah, we could be in for an interesting fight. There'll be no crowd there, so maybe Kell Brook could use that to his advantage. Even though it's going to be on American soil, there's not going to be no fans in the arena. So Kell Brook will fancy his chances, I'm sure. But of course, I'm going to be leaning towards Terence Crawford to win this fight. Maybe my mind might, well, no, actually, I'll be honest, my mind won't change as we get closer to the fight. But it could be an interesting one. So I'm looking forward to it regardless. It just adds to another great winter schedule that we have. And I'll definitely be tuning in. So what are your thoughts on the fight? Let me know in the comment section below, guys. And thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.